What's cracking? We
Hi,
back.
guys.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Party Chat. I am Patrox.
I am Obey the Fist.
And Hey Fist.
Yeah.
What was today?
Well, today is day 2 of E3. But really, it's more like,
Day.
so we're not gonna do that thing. That amazing. Never mind. Put the kazoo down. No, the moment's gone now.
Okay.
Apologize to the nice people for missing out on a terrible joke. But it's okay, because if you really want to see some terrible jokes, go watch E3. You know what? Okay, good timing. We brought it back. I'm into it.
I forgot. Yeah, E3's out.
Couple of hits.
Couple of hits. Another year, another mouthful of silence from Ton Howard about Elder Scrolls 6, and I'm angry.
Yeah, 0. I think that dude at the end mentioned that it was going to be available on Games Pass.
No, they just said that we have teams hard at work
Oh, teams hard at work, right?
this, and Elder Scrolls 6.
But yeah, no.
Revelation, if you follow the leak community, it is not Elder Scrolls 6 Redfall, as previously.
Right, Redfall is an entirely different game.
Looks fantastic.
Actually does look pretty good. Looks like it's going to be a fun romp through a vampire apocalypse.
So let's circle back. Let's go through this a little more formally today. Where do we hit first? Do we want to just go right into Xbox Bethesda?
I mean, sure. We've already started talking about Todd Howard.
Straight up, Halo Infinite looks kind of impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I would be impressed, but I was expecting to be impressed was the thing. I knew that they were going to show Halo Infinite and it was going to look amazing. So
got that tentative release date, holiday of this year,
I think what they said was the holiday for the multiplayer.
No, it's both at the same time. I thought your season 1 of the multiplayer and the campaign are available this holiday.
Okay, that tracks.
Because Halo Infinite is free to play multiplayer,
which is really cool. Good job there. Especially with all sorts of other companies gouging us for money anytime somebody wants to throw us a bone for free. That's a ton of that's millions of dollars of goodwill you're purchasing yourself.
I mean, millions of dollars of goodwill as well as millions of dollars of money, because
anybody who plays the campaign, anybody who plays multiplayer is going to wind up playing the campaign.
Well, not even going that route. Look me in the eye and tell me that if they're not going free to play multiplayer, we are getting cosmetic microtransactions out
Dude,
the ass.
That samurai Spartan helmet was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in Halo.
Tiptoe621 subscribed. They've been subscribed for 14 months. Oh, thanks, Tiptoe.
That boy.
Yeah. It's his birthday next week.
Oh.
Yeah, we gotta do something nice.
We do gotta do something nice. But, so we've got, the Halo Infinite. One of the things that you and I were actually just talking about a couple of days ago is how, so we'll circle back to this later, but Battlefield 2042 does not have a campaign mode.
$70 game does not have a campaign.
Doesn't have a campaign mode. But calling a spade, I can count on one hand the amount of games that I even bothered to attempt the campaign in that are first-person shooters.
Man, I'm that weirdo because Halo campaigns are everything.
That's one of them, because Halo campaigns are incredible. Halo has really great campaigns.
I've also done all the Modern Warfare campaigns. Titanfall 2 campaign.
Titanfall 2 campaign was good. Part of the reason it was good is because it was short. I feel like if they had tried to artificially lengthen it, it would have fallen apart, which is kind of what I feel like happens in most FPS campaigns. At a certain point, I'm like, I don't care anymore.
And then they were going to extend the life of the whole franchise, and now it's Apex Legends.
Instead, it's Apex Legends, and I'm never going to get to pilot a Titan again. Cool. I love this timeline.
I feel like eventually we'll see Titanfall 3. Or they'll bring Titans to Apex.
They bring Titans to Apex, I may play Apex Legends.
You hear that?
You'll get another person to play your game if you do that. And I am kind of a slag when it comes to being able to spend money on free games. I don't have control. I'm the whale.
How much have you spent in Pokemon Go
Shut up.
since you
Shut
started
up.
playing?
Shut up. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about E3. Stay focused.
Oh no. I think our viewers deserve to know.
I think our viewers can
Hold on, let me
speculate.
scream the story. As a normal American citizen,
You ever seen somebody be really proud about getting somebody addicted to crack?
I've been playing Pokemon Go since 2016. I don't play it all the time. I usually uninstall it every winter, and I didn't play it all of last summer either because I was like, you going out, being around people, no thanks. But Fist here has never played Pokemon Go before. Not once, not ever. Not during the 2016 boom when that was literally all anyone did, or at any point. So I finally convinced him to download the game and start playing. And
I went for a walk on my break at work. That's what I did. With my free time at work, I decided in the 85-degree heat to go for a walk.
You're welcome.
Because of this game. So, yay!
Hey, your future great nephews and great nieces will thank me later. When you're still taking a break at work at like 65 years old to go on a walk and be like,
that seems unlikely.
Pokemon.
This game is fun, but like I don't know if it's gonna be for the rest of my life fun.
That's the best part because you put it down during the winter, and then you come back to it, and then it gets better every time.
It does seem like they're pretty good about updates.
Back to E3.
Back to E3. So another thing that Bethesda did, right? So we've all heard about Starfield before. We don't know anything about it. To be fair, we still don't know anything about it, except for the fact that it's coming out in 2022.
11/11/22.
11/11/22.
Which is funny because 11 and 11 add up to 22.
And that's also the 11th birthday of Skyrim?
Stop that.
Yes, it'll be the 11th birthday of Skyrim, and it is Xbox exclusive, which is not really all that surprising considering that Microsoft owns Bethesda.
Call it Microsoft exclusive.
Dude, I feel like anything that comes out on Xbox is also going to be available on PC because, like, why wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know. So my computer is not an Xbox. Please don't refer to it as such. My computer is a
tell you what,
OBS
when they
machine.
start doing it, I'll start doing it.
It is Microsoft exclusive, 100%. PC, Xbox, that's it. But it's going to be on Games Pass day one, so like there's that. I pay for Games Pass anyway because my kids use it on their Xbox. And
games, like, for all of the problems that I have with Xbox, the Games Pass is really, really cool. What else?
I'll own a Series X eventually. I'll get one, and I'll play it for a while.
Not I, Butterfly.
Probably for Halo, to be honest. I like Halo a bunch. I'll play the game.
I will just play it on PC, because especially with everything going crossplay today, is it not? Wait, Halo is actually a console exclusive?
Yes, I believe at least for the first X while. Can we get a fact check on that? I'm pretty sure I saw that it is at least for the first like maybe year, it's going to be exclusive on Xbox and then go to PC.
Cool.
Yeah, Halo 5 was trash, but what's his face is back developing Halo Infinite, the dude that did the story from Halo 3, ODST, and then Halo 4. No, he did OG Halo 2 and ODST. Yeah. But he's back. He wrote the story for this one.
I mean,
So,
look.
I fact-checked it, and they know for sure, obviously, it's going to Xbox. They have not announced yet if it's going to PC eventually or if it's just an Xbox exclusive.
Oh, so we don't even know at all.
We don't even know at all, correct.
All right, well, in that case, y'all have fun playing Halo Infinite. If you happen to do some cool stuff.
Bro,
What?
we'll just play Halo Infinite on stream.
On the split screen it's not going to have?
Oh, we'll take turns. Come on, we're adults. Trade off every round.
Okay, we can do that.
Right. We'll stream.
Yeah, rest of Xbox's showcase was, not terrible. Couple of cool little titles that are going to be, kind of fun to pick up if they go
Redfall.
on Super Sale. Redfall is not till 2022, but that one does look like it's going to be pretty good. I mean, really cool concept. A lot of ways to fuck it up. I don't know why they felt the need to do an entire expose on Forza 5 Horizon. That seemed like a strange choice. They finished up the trailer, and I was like, oh, good, they're going to talk about it for another 15 minutes. Fantastic.
Did you guys know that every cactus has individual needles?
They did they went in hard with the cactus. Cactus? Cactus needles. Jeez.
Yeah.
Bad one. And then, that's kind of really everything that was worth mentioning about Xbox. Obviously, their whole big thing was every game is going to be either, a new console exclusive or available day one on Games Pass, which is all well and good. But nothing that really popped out. Ubisoft had again kind of ho-hum.
I didn't watch Ubisoft's.
Well, it wasn't bad. Nothing super crazy, but Rainbow Six Siege is getting a co-op mode where your operators are going to have to enter this, because apparently somewhere back in the current timeline of Rainbow Six Siege, an extraterrestrial entity has entered the equation. And in this new game, you and two friends are going to have to go into places where the infection is thick and either collect samples or take down priority targets. One of the cool things is if your operator goes down, I think they're called Arkeens is what the name of the aliens are, but they'll take that operator, your operator, the one that you have spent time building up, and stick it in the bottom of one of these worlds, and then you're going to have to go in as a different operator and save it in order to get it back. Which, as somebody who doesn't play Rainbow Six Siege ever, that seems like it could be fun. The gameplay that they showed was pretty cool.
I would like to address a chat situation for a second.
Okay.
I was told that I can do this. I'm gonna do it real quick.
Okay.
We got to follow from Constant Flux, and that's this week's featured artist.
Hey!
So we're gonna share it on Facebook, but we're going to do a featured art section probably once a week, every episode, where we're gonna hang up pictures from local artists, or not really local, but anywhere, to anybody who wants to put art on the set and get free promotion, because it's rad. That's how the bartering system works. Tit for tat, quid pro quo.
Literally Latin for this before that.
Going back to E3, yeah, I didn't watch any Ubisoft. I watched Square Enix though, and that slapped.
Square Enix, again, nothing like that absolutely blew my mind. I'm pretty pumped about having the first 6 Final Fantasies on my phone, actually, which, as somebody who doesn't really like mobile gaming all that much, is kind of a weird thing to say. The Final Fantasy Origin looks like it's going to be big hype.
Yo, let's talk about that.
I'm down.
Because to tell me straight up that you're going to give me a reimagining of the story of Final Fantasy 1, I'm sorry. Like, the story of when 4 generic RPG heroes roll up and defeat a generic villain. Now you're going to give me lore, and they're going to have personalities, and oh my God.
Yeah.
And he was like shoving crystals in mouths and their heads were exploding and he was like, die!
Yeah, it looks real cool.
I'm in it. I'm sold.
I mean, I'm a little... There's a lot of names attached to this one. Like Team Ninja was on there, Tecmo Koei was on there, and obviously because this is part of Square Enix is on there. But with what we saw from the trailer, looks like it's going to be super fun. Probably my hypothesis is like Devil May Cry without the like style system, but like the dude's walking up and he's got that giant sword on his back, and we saw him using a spear. So, and like you get to go and fight Garland again, or Chaos as he's known. Spoilers, I guess. If
you didn't watch the trailer.
If you didn't watch the trailer or play the Final Fantasy game that's been out for the majority of our lifetimes.
I didn't play Final Fantasy 1 until I got Dawn of Souls, as I didn't have a working NES to play OG Final Fantasy 1.
I tried to play Final Fantasy before I could read. It's real hard.
It's
real hard.
I got Dawn of Souls for the Game Boy Advance, had Final Fantasy 1 and 2. Remade then too. It was updated for like, Game Boy Advance style graphics, and which is honestly that's the port I'm hoping to get.
I imagine that's what it's going to wind up being,
because that is such a good work.
Either that or they've done a new one.
Right.
So,
what I don't want is that old blocky. Give me the option for the old blocky NES graphics, I guess, if you want, but don't make that the game, please.
I like it when,
I'll cry.
Dude, I love it when these remaster games do. You can have either like the updated music, or you can actually go back and have it be the original like 8-bit synth. Like there were 18 keys on that soundboard.
Yeah.
It's like polyphonic ringtones. Because sometimes you just want to go all the way back.
Yeah. Yeah, no. One of my favorite things to do in Tetris games. You can always change the music back to like the OG.
Did you guys see that Square Enix also followed up with their Guardians of the Galaxy game?
That was also on the docket. Because when that was actually what they opened their press conference with, and as soon as it showed up, like me and Marvel games don't really bang. That Ultimate Alliance that they put on the Switch was like, it was cool, it was fun for like a little bit, but I kind of got bored with that game before actually really getting anywhere with it. So as soon as I saw Guardians of the Galaxy, I was like, okay, we'll sit through this until we get to the Final Fantasies and the fun stuff. But I gotta tell you, man, by the time that trailer was over, I was like, this actually looks like it's gonna be pretty fun.
So Guardians of the Galaxy is probably my favorite part of the Marvel Universe, honestly. They're the only real Marvel movies I can stomach, aside from Deadpool, but that's also because it's not Avengers-based garbage.
Well, I mean, the Guardians of the Galaxy differs from most of the rest of the Marvel Universe in that it's a ragtag squad of misfits and underdogs that band together to try and survive in the vastness of space, and somehow always get embroiled in these like galaxy-ending plots, and they manage to stop them. It's fantastic and it's fun.
It's also a comedy movie compared to the rest of them.
It's also considerably more funny, which plays a huge part in this game. It's got almost like a Telltale Games aspect to it, where because you're playing as Peter Quill, you're playing as Star-Lord. But the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be having conversations around you. And in these conversations, you'll have the option to agree with Drax or agree with Rocket. And that's going to change the way that the story unfolds in front of you, much the same way as it would in the Telltale game. Like in the trailer that they showed, you've got to get across this chasm. It's got an extending bridge. The controls are on the other side. Drax straight up picks up Rocket and goes, "I'm gonna throw you," and you get the option to be like, "Hey Drax, don't do that," or "Yeah, go ahead, huck him." And when you huck him, up in the top it says,
Rocket was furious with you.
Rocket is furious that you agreed to let Drax throw him. And like that seems like a really cool narrative element to a game that part of my problem with Marvel games is I tend to feel kind of railroaded. Like I am playing the story of Peter Parker or Tony Stark. This is the path set before me, and my job is to figure out how to destroy the enemies on that path. That's kind of it. But with this, my story is going to wind up being a little bit different than yours, I'm sure, because I'm going to choose to go about a task differently, and I love it when a game gives you the opportunity to compare notes with other people that play it. Something like Mass Effect, where, oh, did you do this mission? And like, oh yeah, I did this, and somebody else will go, yeah, I did it this other way. What changed in the last hour? Now I'm curious.
I still think I'm going to play it. It looks like $30 fun.
That's true. I don't think it's a buy on release, but like at some point that game's going to go on sale.
At some point, I'll post about it in Patient Gamers on Reddit. I'll cop it on a Steam sale for like $10 or something, or like 2 years from now on a PlayStation free to play. I kind of thought the same thing about Square Enix's take on the Avengers games, and those ended up being mediocre at best. I'm just kind of like, yeah, dude, that looks cool, but I wouldn't say I'm hyped for it by any means. I think it looks cool, but there are way too much other things to be hype about.
It's definitely not high on the list.
Like Starlink. But we're on Square Enix now.
Like what?
Is it Starlink?
Starfield?
Yeah, Starfield.
Okay, because Starlink
is the Elon Musk internet.
Starlink was the game on the Switch where you built the ship. Starlink, Battle for Atlas. You had to buy ships and pilots and weapons to put on your...
Oh, and they did the Star Fox one.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could get the
Pretty sure
R-Wing
Starlink is also the name of Elon Musk's satellite internet stuff.
But he's definitely got enough money to buy the rights. So. Big disappointment from Square Enix. No mention, no new trailer, no anything about Final Fantasy
got like
16.
4-second clip during
the wrap up of like, here's some games that are out now and that you can look forward to later. And it was like Final Fantasy 16, and the dude did like one attack on an enemy in what was it, a tavern? It was so quick I could barely remember.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what it was.
Left, because I left my room. I left the computer screen. I forgot to pause for the Square Enix conference. When I came back, they were doing the Final Fantasy Origins trailer. And I was like, oh shit, Final Fantasy 16. And then they were like, Garland. And I went,
no, nothing about this adds up at all.
I mean, could you imagine if they brought Garland back as the villain for something? Like, let's start looping the Square Enix game. Let's start looping Final Fantasies together.
Let's start tying them all together in a shared universe.
That Garland created when he fucking became Chaos. It's a multiverse. Fractured timelines. Let's go. We know 10 and 7 are connected.
I mean, I think that's probably a cool thing to have in the back pocket with Square Enix in case things start to slow down. They even there was also they've got new stuff coming out for Marvel Avengers, but like I don't play that game. I don't know anybody that does. Black Panther game looks like it's going to be pretty cool too. Again, not a immediately purchase, but like if that game winds up going on super sale, I'll pick it up.
The Black Panther is an expansion.
Is that just an expansion for
Avengers? Yeah.
Probably not, because I'd have to play Avengers then, and I don't want to do that.
High key, the new Life is Strange good looks really good. Not my kind of game.
Yeah, not my
but
kind of
like,
game,
I
but
could get behind it. Like
that's gonna make some people very happy, and I'm happy for
I might
them.
play this one. I didn't like the other. I've played them all. Not a huge fan, but like I'll probably play it at some point. It'll be free on PlayStation, I'm sure.
Yeah, that empathy system with being able to like read emotions, and I really hope that they do something with what they alluded to in the trailer when she was talking about taking somebody's anger away, like but taking it into her. Like that seems like a really cool.
Yeah, and then
thing
imagine if you got like the will marks from fucking Fable. Your looking starts glowing. You become corrupt from taking in too many of people's emotions. Probably not gonna happen, but
Yeah, aside from that, Square Enix just showed a couple of trailers for games that are already out or that are going to be out really soon.
my meat and potatoes is tomorrow. I really just care what Nintendo has to say, and then we're gonna get Sony sometime this week eventually too. Like Sony will do another state of play, or just drop a shit ton of trailers on YouTube simultaneously.
Something like that. But let's see. Other things of note. Far Cry 6, for those of you that enjoy Far Cries, you're going to have a good time. The linchpin of every Far Cry game since 3 has been the villain, and the guy who is your bad guy this time around is Giancarlo Esposito, who you may know as Gus Fring, or more recently, Moff Gideon. If you've seen any of his work, you know he's going to make a fantastic villain. But it's aside from him, it's going to be Far Cry. If you love the game, you're going to love this one. If you haven't been interested before, probably not going to be interested in this one either.
There's something about this Far Cry villain, though. Isn't it related to a previous Far Cry villain, right?
Not that.
Like, his assistant or something is the young boy version of one of the other Far Cry villains, I think. Can you look that up for me?
I know that in the trailer, a bunch of people get on a fishing boat to like leave. I believe the name of the country is Yara, and the boat gets stopped. He comes on, and one of the kids that is on the boat is his son, his 13-year-old son. And he's like, "You don't get to leave. I'm grooming you to become the next presidente." And so I don't know. I do know that they mentioned something. It wasn't super clear, but part of the season pass is it looks like a weird version of Blood Dragon, but you get to play as Voss and what was his name from 4? The bad guys from 3, 4, and 5 are playable in this like really weird nightmare dreamscape, maybe like virtual world thing.
Blood Dragon is the only Far Cry I've ever actually played to completion.
But again, yeah, you'll have fun. You'll have a good time if Far Cry's your thing.
What was that other one? Super Cyberpunky had like the 2D sprites in the 3D environment.
I know. Rechart? No. I do know the one you're talking about. It's big Metroidvania energy.
You see him for that one little pixel fight scene. He breaks that dude's arm.
Yeah, really cool looking. I mean, it's at this point it's kind of hard to do a Metroidvania wrong. Other people have done it wrong before, so you kind of know what not to do.
And then Hades did everything right. And
Hades coming to Xbox. Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations. Welcome to joining the rest of us in the 21st century.
Hades is super fun. If that's one that if you haven't played, I highly recommend it. Unless you don't like getting your teeth kicked in the game, because then you're going to have a bad time.
If you French fry when you're supposed to pizza, you are going to have a bad time.
On the subject of getting your teeth kicked in and having a bad time. So I, unfortunately, cannot play Sea of Thieves because I get my teeth kicked in and I have a bad time. And that's doubly hurtful now because Sea of Thieves is getting an update called The Pirate's Life.
Yeah, the trailer opens up, and you kind of hear some new music you've never really hear in like the Sea of Thieves before, so it's cool, new music, we're getting a new update. And then this voice comes on and starts talking about stuff, and I'm like, this voice sounds really familiar. And she's like, you got to save the one pirate trapped in the Sea of the Damned, and I'm like, and then you see the dog bone hanging out the cage, and you're like, God fucking damn it, Captain Jack fucking Sparrow. Because
Captain Jack Sparrow.
if Disney doesn't have to stick their grubby little mouse fingers into everything I know and love and ruin it, except for Star Wars. I still love Star Wars. Leave me alone.
I'm sorry, are you under the impression that this update is a negative thing? Are you under the impression that fighting the Flying Dutchman is a bad thing?
Hold on. So I see this from both sides of this coin, and I'll lay out both sides of this coin to you. One, the pros side of this coin, it is going to bring a huge new player base to Sea of Thieves. It's going to add a whole bunch of new enemy types, new encounter types. The Davy Jones event is going to be like a world event like Flame Skull is. And it's going to be really awesome. The cons are that the Sea of Thieves community, as it stands, has this sort of pride about not being Disneyized. It's you don't think of Sea of Thieves and you're like, oh, Pirates of the Caribbean or anything like that.
No, we're really like underground and like it's like a cult thing, you know? Like it's kind of exclusive, so
Think of it from the perspective of somebody. It's the same argument.
other people are gonna play my game too. Yeah, that sucks.
No, it's the same argument that they're having with Fortnite and Rick and Morty.
Oh, this is
right
not
now.
the argument you want to be making,
I
dude.
think it's funny because the Pirates of the Caribbean fans are like, fuck Sea of Thieves, and the Sea of Thieves people are like, fuck Pirates of the Caribbean.
I don't think any Pirates of the Caribbean fan is like, fuck Sea of Thieves.
Well, more importantly, too, not only do you get to play with Captain Jack Sparrow, I guess you get to go to quote unquote memorable locations from the movie franchise. So it's not just a new character, it's also
This
more
is going to
immersive.
be all kinds of cool new stuff, and the argument against it is, no, it's my thing.
I stand to believe that, for example, I was talking with Jared about this earlier, and like, to a lot of people, Sea of Thieves is a better representation of the pirate's life than Pirates of the Caribbean ever could have been.
Correct.
And to bring that into that universe is a delegitimization of the simulation that they love so much. Like,
That's a really shitty way to spin it, and that's all that is a really shitty way to spin it. Because nothing about the mechanics of that game are going to change.
yeah, but if it's everywhere and you're constantly reminded about it and it's constantly pushed in your face, because it will be. It's
So I am not.
Jack Sparrow's a really shitty pirate.
But you have heard of him.
God damn it. As far as the memorable locations, like I'm sure we'll go to Tortuga. I'm sure we'll go to Isla de Muerta. I just hacked that word really bad.
It's okay. Nobody's keeping score, man. I promise.
I am. We'll probably see the end world where he was at the start of the third movie, where it's just that beach with the ship and the crabs. Plethora of new enemies, some of which are Davy Jones's henchmen, who will be like, rah. Again, Davy Jones being a super cool world event. I would have been okay with this entire thing had they given me Davy Jones, had they given me Captain Barbossa. But the moment you put Jack Sparrow in it, that's where it was kind of like, oh, fuck, okay, I guess.
thanks for the sack of gold, but it's really heavy. You do anything about that? I don't want to carry this everywhere. Like,
Actually,
Like,
I'm gonna drive
okay.
over, run down to the studio and slap him. I don't even know whose account that is.
a dragoon balloon. Yeah, like, okay, so fine. You can not like Captain Jack Sparrow all you want, but like the argument of the delegitimization, this is in the same way that like cool. It's a good representation of like actual piracy, except for when you do things like fight skeletons on islands and take on giant ghost fleets. That's where the fantasy comes in. This is just that, like, and the way that pirates like glamorizes and Hollywoodizes piracy is already present in this game. Because the other parts of it, like the weird, crazy, like, haha, I'm gonna have this wild ass sword fight where my arm does things you would never do in a sword fight. That's not gonna exist.
All right, fine. I will give you that under the circumstances that, like, at least partially agree with me that the update would have been better if we had gotten Barbossa and not Jack Sparrow.
It also wouldn't have made sense.
Why not, dude? Barbossa was the better captain.
Because to include Pirates of the Caribbean without the main character of the franchise would be way weirder.
All right, fine. It is kind of cool that Johnny Depp is doing all of the voice lines for Jack Sparrow, though. I think that's pretty neat. He didn't even do that for Kingdom Hearts.
It was really weird in Kingdom Hearts because sometimes he was really good. The guy that was doing Captain Jack Sparrow, sometimes he nailed the line, and other times I was like, dude, did you see the movie?
Because he's surprised.
Oh no, this is just him. He's concerned if you turn him upside down though, because now the same expression becomes one of concern.
It's like a game of Guess Who in this chat. Yeah. It's me.
It's me. Oh,
It's me.
how silly of me.
Your brother. It's a me. I'm Mario.
Speaking of Mario,
Oh, yeah. So ahead of Nintendo's press conference, their latest E3 Nintendo Direct, we have found out, courtesy of an accidental upload to the Nintendo eShop, one announcement they will be making is the...
Ubisoft did.
Oh, Ubisoft did.
This was part of Ubisoft's E3 presentation. What's it called?
But it was this leaked before Ubisoft's presentation,
Correct.
though.
Yeah, we got to see gameplay. We got to see the
We
opening
didn't
trailer.
say what it was, though.
Huh?
We didn't say what it was yet.
It's Mario Rabbids. It's the sequel to
Mario
Kingdom
Rabbids.
Battle. Is that what it was called?
I don't care.
I think it was Kingdom Battle.
I don't like XCOM style games. I'm not gonna like a Mario and annoying ass Rabbids skinned XCOM game.
Yeah,
like-
not really my cup of tea either. But some people out there just stand Mario games, and you guys should be in for a treat. Honestly, with the gameplay that I saw from this one, it did kind of make me want to consider going back to do Raving Rabbids. Unfortunately, it's a Nintendo IP, so it's still $60, and I'm not paying that.
I have it somewhere. You can borrow it. The kids have it. The Pokeball anal. What?
I'm flattered that you think I can take that. If I could take one of those, that would be on my Tinder bio.
Damn.
Are you kidding me? If I could do that?
This show is rated
I'd
PG-13.
have an OnlyFans. And I'd be raking
You
it in.
can't say that word.
OnlyFans? Because only my friends get to subscribe.
Only your friends would subscribe.
Okay, I was making a joke, and then you decided to make it hurtful. Cool. Awesome. Now that my self-confidence has been shattered, we could probably talk about somebody else's self-confidence who should probably be shattered. No, never
We
mind.
going anywhere with that train of thought?
No, because I could have sworn we had more. Oh, Gearbox! You guys done fucked up. Your self-confidence should be super shattered. Holy shit! How did you get more than everything wrong in your press conference today? How did you manage to think with all, like, you've got Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. You teased it prior to the show, and then at the show, you just did the same thing. Hang on to it. Why did you tell us, then just show us again? Why would you have told us about this amazing, awesome thing that we're all going to be looking forward to? And then the additional information was like, yeah, we were inspired by Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep. Here's a picture of a dragon that you're going to fight. Because that was it. That was all the other information we got. That was not in the original trailer that was released a couple of days ago. But don't worry, they spent like 20 minutes walking around the set of the Borderlands movie, which, don't get me wrong, I'm excited for, but you know that's not why we're watching you at E3.
I am super excited for all of the voice cast of Wonderlands, dude. Andy Samberg, sorry. Across the streams there. Andy Samberg is...
It'll be Adam Sandberg and Andy Sandler working together for the first time.
I hope so. Andy Sandberg is one of my favorites. And then, Kevin Hart, going to be hilarious.
Well, that's the movie. Kevin Hart's the movie. Andy Samberg is in Wonderlands, as well as... Wanda Sykes and Will Arnett, which Will Arnett is playing the the evil dragon at the end, or I assume probably throughout the whole game, kind of like Handsome Jack, which is going to be weird because all I'm going to hear is BoJack Horseman, and that's a strange intersection.
Evil BoJack Horseman.
So BoJack Horseman. Also, I finally get to say
Jack Black is voicing Claptrap, isn't he?
Yes.
In the film, yeah. That's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah.
I also hope Claptrap somehow makes his way into Wonderlands.
The Borderlands franchise itself is pretty much excuse me. Really good about the throwbacks and referencing not only pop culture as a whole, but also themselves. Like Butt Stallion is in Wonderlands, the unicorn made out of diamonds from 2. So I would be surprised if Claptrap didn't make it in somehow. How else did they fuck that up? So when Godfall came out, it was a PS5 exclusive, right? Yeah. Because they were like, PS4 is not going to be able to handle it. Except for now it's coming out for PS4 with an update that adds new endgame content. No new armors. We're fighting the same bad guy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had a ton of fun in Godfall, but like, either do stuff with it or put it away.
Hold on, I can't focus with what is going on in that chat right now. This has gotten entirely out of hand.
What is happening in there?
Someone just got banned.
Who got banned?
Several people have gotten banned. One was a bot. I know that.
That just, it went too far.
Yeah, this Keith killer is also getting there too. He wants me to use the RGB dildo. Put it up your dark side.
Which one? You've got two. Dealer's choice? Oh, now he's not going to be able to answer.
Yeah, dude. Put us in timeout for... Okay. Well, anyway.
Well, ruminate on it. Get back to us. Think about it.
Let us know, for sure. I don't know why we're banning it. We should just let it go. Like, it's kind of hilarious.
No, upload into YouTube. I don't want.
That's okay. That's true.
Yeah, I don't want.
Paint it out.
I'm not doing that.
Crop the chat out of every YouTube video.
We could be like, so we're not going to censor our chat in the name of standing up for free speech. We'll bleep ourselves out because sometimes we say things that are inappropriate, but we will never silence the people.
I mean, that's just my take. And that's a Sack Daniels decision as far as I'm concerned.
Dude, also, that was super weird about their conference. So, Homeworld, right? Fine RTS, not really my style, but like I recognize good work when I see it. Why did you break that up into like 3 segments? It felt like commercials in between the actual things they were talking about. Like they would finish up talking about Wonderlands and Godfall, that it was back to Homeworld, and then they talked about Tribes of Midgard, which does look super cool. And then it was back to Homeworld. Like the whole thing was really weird. And then they wrapped also, Randy Pitchford, we don't like looking at you. We don't like doing that. We don't like knowing you exist. Get a spokesperson. Somebody with charisma. The best thing you can do for your company is make us forget you exist. Not the company, you, personally. Pro tip.
That content is for party chat after dark. That's what we call the OnlyFans.
The Only Friends. The exclusively fanatics? There's got to be a better word.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. Yeah, it's I don't know, E3's but kind of a disappointment. I feel like a lot of the reason E3 isn't as hype as in previous years is that like
We're getting diminishing returns. We're getting diminishing returns on what we are able to do.
I don't think it's that. I think that it's the fact that they're virtual presentations. Like, I feel like part of the hype of E3 was like when everybody's like, yeah!
Well, actually, okay, on the subject of that, so Devolver Digital also had a pretty good showing. They've got a couple of really cool, fun new projects coming out. But their presentation was like this really weird, like almost sitcom-y style, like board meeting with the actual people from Devolver Digital talking about like, how are we going to really smash through this block that we have in the industry. And somebody's like, we offer a free subscription service that allows our fans to purchase our games. And they were like, that's genius. And then in between talking about games, they've got a bunch of little snippets about how with, they called it Devolver Max Pass Plus premium purchase. And that was the little like watermark that they threw up in between every thing. Is like, yeah, exclusive to our subscribers, the ability to purchase this game. You can subscribe for free. No, like it was just a really funny joke. Speaking of funny jokes, best joke of E3 goes to Obsidian Entertainment.
Oh, yeah, dude. That trailer for The Outer Worlds 2 is just next level parodical self-awareness. Like, self-awareness.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's
oh, my God. It was so good.
real funny.
We're going to zoom out and show you the hero, but only its silhouette because the developers haven't finished designing it. The developers haven't finished designing anything. Just this logo.
Just the logo and the title. Outer Worlds 2.
Outer Worlds 1 was a great game.
I've never picked up anything by Obsidian Entertainment been like, I'm disappointed. Like it obvious, like Obsidian doesn't do the AAA smash, gonna be talked about by people who are not super into video games, but they do quality work. Dude,
Fallout New Vegas was...
Obsidian made the best Fallout game.
Yeah. I'd say that was probably their best project so far, most popular at least. Outer Worlds is up there, but it's not New Vegas. My cup's empty. I'm upset about it.
Dude, Fallout 4 isn't New Vegas.
So, but I think that about wraps up what we got for E3 right now. Why don't we go ahead?
Quick rack of my brain. Battlefield 2042 does look fun.
No campaign though.
No campaign, which I couldn't possibly care less. I think I played a little bit of the campaign for Battlefield 1 and then was like, fuck this, I'm going to multiplayer. But yeah, looks super cool. That bit where a dude got into an elevator in the middle of the match and then switched the scope and the grip on his weapon right there in the middle of the battlefield. That seems pretty cool to mess around with. And also 128 players.
Yeah, that's
64 on 64. That's gnarly. That's going to be a wild, chaotic mess, which is why we've been going to Battlefield since time immemorial.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I don't know if it's going to be $70 fun.
Yeah,
I might fuck with it. But I might fuck with it. We'll see. But yeah, I think it's time for us to take a break. We'll come back here after a few minutes, and y'all stick around. Think of some cool questions or any more objectively terrible ideas for us to do later. Until then, we'll be right back. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Party Chat.
Welcome back, indeed. There's been some fantastic conversation in chat while we were gone. One thing I do want to address is that certainly something from
It's Juan.
Hey, okay, cool.
From up there?
From up there? I have to believe there was a typo somewhere because it was mentioned in chat that we've had 60 v60 since PS2, which is the least correct thing I have heard all day. And I watched a bunch of E3, so that's saying something. Yeah, Battlefield on the PS2 had a maximum player size of 24 players. It was 12v12 at its peak.
I think 360 PS3, I think is when we moved to 32v32, right?
I think it was towards the end of the PS3 cycle that we finally hit 64-64, which is what PC has been since mid 2000s. The few exceptions to that were MAG on PS3 tried to do 256 player maps, and I tried playing MAG for an afternoon and was this is terrible. But
speaking of increased lobby sizes, Among Us getting 15-player lobbies and a shit ton of new colors,
which is cool. I'm still I at some point I have to play that game. Everybody else does. But the other exception to that rule is PlanetSide, which has 2,000 player lobbies, but that's 2,000 people on a gigantic, huge map where battles will occur at points of interest throughout. Battle Royales having 100 is also up there, but straight up 64 v64 in a Battlefield style setting is that is a pretty big deal.
Not my thing. I might play it, but like, I'm more of a 5v5 on a very set map that I know every call out to. Counter-Strike style. Valorant style.
I like having a. I love giant battlefields where it's just absolute chaos. So, the really cool question that was asked in chat was, do trailers or word of mouth create more hype for a game? Which is cool because that's going to link into what I have to talk about here in a minute. But I think the first clarification is like hype as in awareness or hype as in excitement, because those are two different things. In terms of awareness, probably the trailer. And this is, dependent from game to game, from developer to developer, console to console even. Like excitement. So here's the cool thing about that. I think that hype is a bad thing. Hype is a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. Because the thing that I'm going to be talking
For
about...
us. I think we need to cut that dry.
Right.
Hype is great for the developer side.
Hype's great for the developer. It's terrible for us on the consumer side.
Yes.
Because the thing that I was going to talk about today is expectations and why it's important that we manage them and why it's so important to understand that your expectations are exactly that, just expectations. Hype is what happens, and I saw that over the break, Cyberpunk had been mentioned in the chat. That is a perfect example. When the hype train starts and people start losing their minds, we all feed off of each other's. All it takes is one really cool trailer for everybody to get it into their heads that this is going to be the next big thing. And even if the game is good, it's not going to be seen as good because we've all created this image in our heads of it being the thing that rearranges the way we think about games.
Okay. Let me counter some of this. Sometimes it is the developers, like in the case of Cyberpunk, that tell us this is going to be the next big thing. That wasn't the people. Again, you know how I feel about Square Enix with Final Fantasy VII. They were like, this is this.
Again, no. Like, if you can show me one place where they said, Square Enix was like, this is a complete, faithful recreation of the game that you played, then we can have that conversation.
One place? One place where they defined the game as a remake.
We just
did this last episode.
Exactly. We just did this last episode. The game's been out for more than a year. So, obviously, that doesn't count for then. The term hadn't been nailed down. So if you can tell me where Square Enix came out and were like, this is going to be the Final Fantasy VII you know and love and nothing else, we can have that conversation. Otherwise, the image that you created in your head about that game is not their responsibility. If you made interpretations and assumptions...
Your inevitable defense of Square Enix in this case, instead of maybe just going with the fact that a large corporation participated and never also once negated, whether it was hype they created or hype the fan base created, Square Enix rolled with it. When they gave us the trailer, or not the trailer, the demo, the playable demo, they gave everyone exactly what we thought we were going to get, which was a very faithful recreation of the Sector 4 reactor scene with modern technology, modern graphics, which is what we were driving for. We never got...
Hot take, I was not a complete one-to-one recreation of Final Fantasy VII. Would have been fucking boring, and I would have been mad that I bought it.
I disagree with you. That game, we were told...
As soon as they were like, there's going to be more stuff, I was immediately more hyped for the game.
More stuff was cool. What I don't like was changing the stuff that already existed. Again, the whole using the fates as a metaphor for player knowledge of previous games, to me, tells me that they are going to change core parts of the story that make it work. Jesus fucking Christ, Tom, Zach Fair is alive in the remake timeline. The game's fucked.
All right. Then don't buy it anymore, and we don't have to talk about it ever again.
Cyberpunk.
But
We were
yeah.
also told this is going to be the next big thing. Yes, did the fan base build that up further? Sure. But CD Projekt Red also shoved it down our throats.
Yeah, that was very much a.
So I think this is a two-sided argument. We as a fan base need to manage our expectations, but companies need to be held accountable for setting expectations.
Misinformation is one thing. Like, that was the big thing about No Man's Sky.
Yes.
No Man's Sky was legitimate. They advertised a completely different game than what they gave us.
When Sean, oh God, what is his last name?
Who cares, I guess?
We look up Sean from Hello Games. Figure out what his last name is for me real quick. Sean Schemmel is Goku.
Yeah, I mean, who the
Name,
dingus
whatever.
behind No Man's Sky.
Well, that man sat there and it was on like, Christ, I think he was on like Jimmy Kimmel or something, or like one of those guys. And they were talking about the game. He was like, Sean Murray, thank you. When Sean Murray was like, and I think they asked him, so I can play this game with my friends, and he was like, oh yeah, but it's such a big universe, you'll probably never run into them.
Like,
only to find out that the game had no multiplayer components. It was physically impossible.
It was straight up lies, is what it was. So that, and I'm pretty sure they got smacked pretty hard for that, with the subsequent lawsuit because I think a bunch of people got it refunded. I don't know. It was 2016.
The refunds happened. I don't think there was a lawsuit. No lawsuit?
No? All right. But like when a company
It's
does
fun now though.
Yeah, like it's not bad now.
It's Minecraft in space.
Minecraft in space, cool. But another really, I think we'll go ahead and call him the grandfather of completely misinforming people about their game was Peter Molyneux. Because I still remember reading in my living room that I grew up in Miami is the article where he was it was the interview with Peter Molyneux about what you were going to be able to do in Fable, and like 20% of it was actually in the game. Like the original Fable has a unique space in video games in that it was both like the best game that came out that year and the biggest disappointment of the year.
All right. I love Fable. And I firmly believe that if Peter Molyneux had his way, the game would have come out.
Dude, if Peter Molyneux had his way, we'd have full dive VR. So
yeah, true. But I've always firmly blamed the console, the hardware limitations of the original Xbox for why Fable 1 was the way it was. Fantastic game, huge disappointments.
But the only reason it was a huge disappointment was because Peter Molyneux got up on stage in front of people and was like, we're going to have these giant castles that make the ones from Lord of the Rings look like shitty blocks. And you're going to find pieces of gear that may not even fit you. And the developers were like, did he tell you that he wanted this in the game? Because he didn't tell me. I've got the whole binder. Like, it's not in there. So.
But systems like that could have then been implemented into Fable 2, into Fable 3, and they weren't.
Fable 3 was like.
I didn't even play it. I'll be honest with you. I played like the first half hour of Fable 3.
Dude, as soon as I got to the inventory screen, I was like, you know what? There's a whole world out there. I'm not going to sit here and have my inventory screen be a separate world that I have to load into.
Oh, God.
Like,
whose idea?
I don't even care whose idea it was. I want to know why everybody else in the room didn't go, what the fuck are you talking about? But
No, the co-op was garbage. What was Sack? Damn, dude. That's a
co-op.
look at you having a wrong opinion.
Co-op would have been better had it actually been your character, not a weird copy.
Yeah.
Like if
The
it
co-op
was
in Pokemon Let's Go was the best co-op. What do you mean?
I keep forgetting that game had co-op.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was so good.
Yeah.
Speaking of setting our expectations and the difference between a developer saying, hey, this is how it's happening, and us being hyped for it and then being let down. Fucking Pokemon. We tend to give Nintendo a pass in here because we're fanboys. But let's talk about how Game Freak said, oh yeah, the reason we're cutting so many Pokemon is because we redesigned every Pokemon for Sword and Shield from the ground up. And then they didn't. They were just imported from the 3DS version.
Yeah, it's tough. Dude, it's really tough with a brand like Pokemon because like no matter what we say, no matter what we do, we can hem and haw for the next 6 months. And at the end of the day, we're all going to buy the next Pokemon game. Like, you can sit there and tell me you're not. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to yourself. You're going to buy it. Like, I'm going to buy it. You're going to buy it. You're going to buy it. You're going to buy it. Everybody else I know that likes Pokemon is going to buy it. And even
I didn't buy Pokemon games for a really long time. I
haven't missed a gen. I've missed a couple of the remakes of gens, but
I stopped at Gen 4. Like I played Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3. I didn't play Gen 4 base. I played Heart Gold Soul Silver, but that's a Gen 2 remake with some Gen 4 sprinkled in. I didn't play Gen 5 or Gen 6. So I didn't play Black and White. I didn't play Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. I didn't play Black and White. I didn't play Black 2, White 2.
No
I
X,
didn't
Y.
play X and Y.
no Sun Moon.
I played Sun Moon.
Okay.
That was when I came back. I got a 3DS XL and I played Sun Moon. And I've been playing since. I didn't play Alpha or Mega Sun, Mega Moon, or whatever the hell that was.
Yeah, Alpha Sun Omega Moon. That sounds right.
I don't remember. Yeah.
But like,
No,
dude, Diamond Pearl remakes are going to be coming out here in November, and I'm gonna get one.
Oh, that was Alpha Ruby and Omega Sapphire.
Alpha Ruby, Omega Sapphire, yes. Then what was it? What the hell were the Sun and Moon ones?
Ultra Sun? Was it
Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Ultra. But like, there's nothing we can do because one, Japan ain't gonna listen to us. They don't give a shit. It's Pokemon, and they're gonna keep buying it.
and it's one of those things where they'll look us dead in the face and be like, "You're right, we didn't. Are you gonna not buy the next one? Because it's coming out soon. You don't have to buy it if you don't want to. Really, you don't.
I've bought multiple
You didn't have to
copies
do that,
of every
but
one.
here you go. Like,
I bought 3 copies of Pokemon Snap, dude. Come on. The new one.
do you want to talk about a juggernaut franchise? Jeez.
Yeah. I bought 3 copies of it. One for me, one for Danielle, one for Silas, and I'm proud of it. I don't regret that decision. What I do regret, I'm so hungry still.
Exactly. Spit in the cornflakes. I'm still gonna eat it.
But no, that was a thing. And like, Game Freak was like, hey, we did this for this reason. I was never against them cutting Pokemon out. Like, yo, every TCG in the world has a rotation. I'm okay with it. You get the new set and some of the old sets. And holy shit, speaking it shall appear. Fuck yeah.
I'm not gonna do that on stream because I have a beard. So I appreciate the offer though.
I'm eating on stream. Oh, it's cold as hell.
I'm not.
I just want to let you know we ordered this Papa John's 2 hours ago. 2.5 hours ago. And it just got here. Fuck Papa John's.
Yeah, that's a long time. It's a real long
Also,
time.
fuck Gatorade. Pizza's really good though.
Exactly. Like, because like, there's a bunch of monsters that like you can show me, and I won't be able to identify by sight because I don't care enough about them. You could remove them, and I wouldn't notice they were gone.
Do you remember Durant?
I do remember Durant, but that's
I had never seen one before. I caught one in Pokemon Go and went, "What the fuck is this?"
dude. There's a bunch of fish because they always do a bunch of fish Pokemon, and I think I probably know a third of them. The rest of them, I'm like
Goldeen, Magikarp, Seaking,
Magikarp, Carvanha because it's like a
Barbaroach.
Sharpedo, Whalmer, although whales are mammals.
Yeah, isn't there actually like a Sharpedo one?
Yeah, that's why I said it.
Yeah, but isn't his name like Sharpedo?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
No, that wasn't a joke. I just said the name of the Pokemon.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, but I've seen a bunch more in Pokemon Go. That I'm like, what the fuck is this? Remoraid? I ain't never seen that before. And I missed Corsola. The Galarian version of Corsola is dead
Is a ghost coral.
because we've killed all the coral
the
reefs.
Great Barrier Reef. But yeah, this is where the managing of the expectations is like it's important so you don't accidentally burn yourself out, because there's been a bunch of games that have been fine, like they're good games. They're not. I wouldn't be upset if I played them, but because I went ahead and OD'd on hype, it wasn't what I wanted when I got it. Like if there's been a bunch of games that had they come out under the radar and I like accidentally stumbled upon them, I would have been absolutely floored, and I'd probably still be playing them to this day. But because of the way the games are advertised and
Games can't survive under the radar anymore.
I mean, the bigger companies, that's true. But like the smaller, more indie companies like Devolver Digital is one of them. Especially because most of their games use that updated sprite kind where it's like when you saw the dude break that guy's arm. Because we can do so much cool stuff with sprites now that we simply couldn't back when sprites were the go-to. These games can totally just sort of come out. And then, like Moonlighter was like that.
Hades was like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing a single advertisement for Hades until Hades was already out.
Yeah. And then...
So yeah, I think indie games can survive like that, but I don't think that a AAA title can survive like that.
I mean, part of the problem, and like not to get Marxist with it or anything, but like pre-orders are such a huge part of the industry now, and that is a problem.
Yeah.
That is a huge problem because now games, there's so much effort being put into making sure people want to buy the game that it's pulling resources from actually making the game good. Because once, like with the way pre-orders are, once they've got your money, they don't fucking care.
The Black Friday Bundaroo will automatically allow you to pre-order Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, like, and that's a fair.
You know what happens when you pre-order, Kyle? You give a bunch of guys in Hollywood money for an unfinished game, and you know what you get? A big dick in your mouth.
Yeah, it's like this is the problem that I used to have with early access.
Oh god, early access hell was a whole.
Because like
that's finally faded. I think for the most part, I feel like games have stopped doing that.
Well, there's a couple of games on Steam that'll still do it. But like I don't necessarily have a huge problem with early access now, as long as the developers are listening to player feedback. Because that's something that
Marketing. Marketing gets $12 million while the dev team gets 12.
Yeah, like we've got rooms full of advertising executives who are like, how do we get people to give us money for something that isn't coming out for another year and a half?
Anthem.
And our
Anthem.
Dude, and the worst part is Anthem did it twice. They didn't even just do it the one time. They did it twice. Because it was the initial release of Anthem, and they were like, look at all this crazy shit. And we were all like, oh my God, power armor and flying under waterfalls. This looks amazing. You take my money. I want to play this on day one. And then it came out, and we played it for 2 weeks, and we were like, oh no, there's no endgame, and the loot system sucks. This is a problem. But I've dug my heels in so hard on how good this is supposed to be that I'm gonna keep playing for another 2 weeks until I literally can't stomach it anymore. And then EA has the fucking audacity to be like, yo guys, Anthem 2.0. We've messed around with loot systems. We've got this new cool pirate zone that's coming out. Even the lances for the pirates look all piratey and shit with skulls and tricorn hats. It's gonna be great. And then they were like, just kidding, we're gonna shut down the servers here in a minute.
I remember how excited you were when you found out about the Anthem 2.0 update. I don't think you shut up about it.
Well, I mean, that's an egregious overstatement, but
In the frequency that you talk about things, it was talked about quite a bit. There was several people in our friend group that talked about it for a grip.
well, because like I was like, oh, maybe it's gonna pull a No Man's Sky. Maybe it's gonna come out, be dog shit, and then they're gonna realize the mistake and fix it, and we'll finally get the Anthem that was promised. And instead, they were like, nah.
Hot take. A game that did that and did it right. Hate me. Destiny. Bro, any way you spin it, compared to what Destiny is right now, Destiny 1 vanilla was dog shit.
Oh, absolutely. Why would I? No, the first Destiny 1 didn't get good until the Taken King.
Yeah.
That was because like that was another game that I like got super hyped for. I played the beta. I got
Same.
all 3 characters to level
Same.
8 because that was the max.
Same.
And then we got into the game and we got to endgame and I was like, oh man, I don't have anybody to play with, so I can't do the raids. I guess I'll go into the Crucible. And Crucible was kind of fun, but it wasn't enough to like keep me around. And then they did Taken King and shit popped off. So like the precedent exists for games to come out lackluster and then become better.
I had the opposite coin of that, actually. I did base vanilla Destiny, and I got to endgame, and I did have people to play with. I played with Juan. I played with Dalton. It was back when everybody was still on Xbox. In fact, real shit, like, Destiny 1 was the reason I bought an Xbox One over a PS4 at first. Because cross-save didn't exist yet, but they were going to do the cross-console. And so I was like, all right, well, I started on 360. I'm still playing Destiny. I don't want to lose my shit, so guess I'll buy an Xbox One. I did the raid. I did Vault of Glass several times, and by the time I did my 150th lap around Mars to find, what was it, helium fragments from Mars? One of the moon was helium, I think.
Oh, what was the one on Mars?
It was rock, I think. It was just rock.
Some kind of rock or metal or some such.
Sort of red iron. And I was doing the chest runs. And I was like, this is not fun. But I had no other way to improve. There was no other way to improve my gear power level than just upgrading my gear with these resources that were incredibly hard to find. That was it. They didn't have the light level system really yet. And Taken King came out and fixed that. They were like, oh, dude, just do stuff and you'll get more stuff.
Yeah, dude, Taken King was great. All you had to do was go.
And they gave me swords. A sword in Taken King. You couldn't keep it. Or was there the exotic?
Yeah, no,
you could
Taken
keep?
King was when they did, it was Raise Lighter, Dark Drinker, and Arc Slicer? It was
Whatever.
the three
Yeah, they
relic
were-
weapons.
but they were
They
exotics,
were
weren't
exotics,
they?
yeah.
Yeah.
Relic Iron, yes!
Yeah. I had Suros Regime. I didn't hadn't use any other exotic weapons in Destiny 1. You didn't need to.
Yeah, I hardly remember things outside of Crucible by the end of Destiny 1. Because, like, by the time Rise of Iron came out, because there was that really cool splice, like the gauntlet style where the Siva Fallen would come out and you had to, like, beat waves and waves and waves, and the more waves you got, the better rewards you got.
Loot Cave?
Huh?
The Loot Cave?
No, this was an actual, like, event.
Oh.
In Rise of Iron.
I didn't play Rise of Iron, so.
But the thing I remember the most is being in Crucible, running Insurmountable Skullfort, and just running around as a Striker Titan, shoulder charging people, and immediately getting it back and having the last word, which is exactly how I did Crucible for all of Destiny 2 as well.
Oh yeah, RNG grinds are the core essence of the MMO. I think at this point. World of Warcraft.
Yeah, well,
every
because
gear
like
drops RNG.
here's the thing when it's not RNG, right? What winds up happening when it's not RNG is it's strictly a time investment, which means at a certain point you're
Kill
done.
them dead, Guardian. I couldn't help but read that in fucking Shax's voice.
I tell everyone you're my favorite Guardian, and why not?
Oh God.
What do you mean you can't concentrate when I'm yelling? Relax!
I really like when it's Iron Banner and it's Reaper
It's Reaper
from Overwatch.
slash.
And I love the die. Oh, wait. Never mind.
Sorry, got a little excited. The hunt is on.
When's the next Iron Banner?
Dude, probably like within a month for sure.
Yeah. Somebody look up what the next Iron Banner in Destiny 2 is. Do you want to go play Iron Banner?
Dude, honestly, new Destiny season looks kind of popping. I'm pleased with what they're doing narratively. We've got Elixni in the city now. That's probably going to be fine. I don't see anybody having a problem with that. Certainly not Lakshmi too.
I almost spit my Cheez-Its. Thanks.
So
Shut up. Shut up. It is not this week.
no, it's not. Iron Banner is set to release sometime in May. May 18th, May 20th. There's not an
Well,
exact date yet.
It's June.
It's
so
June.
Oh my god, it
That's-
is June. Oh my gosh. I have no concept of time.
that's okay.
None.
Look
That's
up
okay.
Destiny 2 Iron Banner June 2021.
Yeah,
Tomorrow would be pretty cool though. Except resets on Tuesday.
said it
isn't
would be Tuesday, so it would be the day after tomorrow. But yeah,
That was a great movie.
It says June 8th. Which means it's already been released?
did we just miss it? That's sad.
Huh.
That's sad.
We got like 3 more days of it. We can play tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, it says June 8th.
She said May.
It's supposed to be releasing in May.
I tried.
There was
Did
an
your
attempt.
There was an attempt. An attempt was made.
But yeah, the problem with RNG, right, is like I said, if it's not RNG, then that means you can just continually work for it, which means at a certain point you're done, and that means that at a certain point you're not gonna play the game anymore. Unless the game happens to just be like super fun for you. Like Chivalry is like that for me. I don't play Chivalry for gains. I play Chivalry to play Chivalry. But in a game where there's when it's the RNG, there needs to be some measure of RNG. Otherwise, the gameplay loop doesn't exist. And if you think about it too hard, you'll never want to play a video game ever again, because all a video game is a giant hamster wheel with a lot of costume on it. and you just like being on the wheel. You like the loop. You like the shit that's on the loop. And what separates a good game from a bad game is how well they costume the wheel. I don't know. Do we address it? I don't like.
One, that's too much.
God.
I've
Somebody
meant-
bonk him.
Go to horny jail.
Where's the Doge with the bat? Can't believe we need
Go to horny jail.
a meme in the chat. But yeah, that's the thing about RNG is
You didn't have to reply.
It's necessary. The fire was almost out, and you were like, "What if I huck this lighter in?"
What? All right. Onwards.
Yeah, moving onwards to, I guess, less exciting things.
Less excited things.
Less excited things. But yeah, this is what. Oh no! I'm sorry, bud. That's
Oh, I'm
rough.
sorry. I love you. You want to hang out after this? Let's go play Pokemon.
I'll come cuddle with you. Like,
Let's go play Pokemon, though, for real.
oh, we could definitely do that. But yeah, looping back to the expectation end of things is, you know, at a certain point we have to start realizing that these companies genuinely just want our money.
And sometimes we give it to them hand over fist because we're suckers.
Nintendo, we're looking at you. But we can't let.
We've done this bit 100 times, but imagine if Nintendo was like, hey, Smash Bros. Ultimate's going to cost $150.
I feel like, no, that's absurd. I would never in my life give you $150 for a game. That's terrible. You're mean, and I will not support this company anymore. But I will take the game. I will. Yes, I will pay full price.
Every time.
Every time. And just there's.
Are we having the whole conversation about how MMOs, because this Firefly 2531 keeps bringing up MMOs. Do we need to have the conversation where we tell you that unfortunately, bud, the MMO genre as a whole is well past the mark of decline?
It's gone the way of the sitcom and the game show. Man, people don't like it anymore.
I mean, this is coming from two people that have, dedicated more years of their life to World of Warcraft.
If
than I can
Firefly
count.
is who I think it is, this is another person who has a very decorated resume when it comes to MMOs. And like, the problem is MMOs are games that you have to put a lot of time into in order to get anything out of. And I don't have that kind of time anymore. I can't afford to take on a second job for fun.
If you can't play World of Warcraft like a second job, you cannot maintain relevancy in the game.
Yeah, like I tried
And that's
to.
how all MMOs work, in my opinion. And MMOs that don't work like that aren't fun.
Yeah, I when Shadowlands came out, I tried playing for like 2 nights a week, and it was 2 long nights a week. But once we started raiding, those were just raid nights, and then occasionally I'd be able to make it for when we would do RPGs. But all of the stuff,
And even just through raiding, you started slipping in like gear score across the rest of the raid. Like,
yeah, just because I wasn't doing the other things.
you weren't playing it like a second job. Like,
you know what? I'll go ahead and investigate this. If ESO is the kind of game where you don't have to play it like it's a second job, I'll look into it because honestly, the game looks fun.
I played ESO until like level, oh god, I don't know. I think I was like maybe level 10, 12, somewhere in there. I know I wasn't on the just play for free model. I actually bought the game and like the expansions or whatever. I actually pretty sure I bought some currency illegally through third-party trading sites.
For legal reasons, that is a joke.
What are they gonna do? Ban my account? I don't play?
They'll send the Games Commission task force seize your assets.
But I couldn't get into the combat of ESO.
FF14 is another one. Like I played that back in oh geez, what was it called? Heavensward? Yes, that was when they introduced the Dark Knight. I played it till almost the end of Heavensward, and like that, if you've got other people that are already playing the game, for sure, it goes.
Yeah, I've heard that the leveling grind is too much for me, and I am a man who does not like leveling.
If you try to do it by yourself, yeah. But like I happen to have a whole squad of people that like I would log on and be like, hey, I'm going to grind fates or I'm going to grind dungeons. And there would be more people that would be like, do you need anybody? Than there were slots in the party. So I got to have a very different experience. But
no cooldowns.
Like you can just use all of your abilities at all times? That seems weird.
Spam the same 5 like high level attack all the time.
Convoke.
Stop it. Bottles. Cello, if you're out there, bottles.
All right, honestly, but that does kind of sound more fun to me, because like I don't like PvP in WoW anymore, man. It's too long. That's too long for me to be in a fight with another human being.
Battlegrounds still aren't bad. I think RBGs are the best form of PvP in that game right now, currently.
Yeah, but like, dude, fuck arenas, man. I can't. I don't want to be in the same 3v3 fight for 12 minutes. That's too much.
Yeah.
If I can use my 5-minute cooldown twice, no, absolutely not.
I think that WoW arenas would be better with more people, actually. I think that would solve the problem. I don't think any healer in the game could out-heal a really good 3-player burst. So I really think like that's the move. I think competitive WoW needs to be a 4v4 arena, not 3v3. Shit, bring back 5v5.
Dude, also, hot take, WoW was better when it was broken. WoW was more fun when nobody had any idea what the fuck they were doing.
Hot take, WoW was a lot more fun when I didn't have kids and a wife and responsibilities.
Dude, I don't have any of that, and I don't think WoW is fun anymore. So that's...
You have a job.
I had a job back then.
Did you, though?
Yeah, dude, it was like 35 hours.
Yeah, 35 hours, not like 45, 50.
Not 40, which is what I have now. So that 5-hour difference is probably not making or breaking the game for me.
What's a harder job, your current job or your 35 hours a week at Starbucks?
It was actually being a delivery driver, and it's not, dude, it's not that my...
I'm just saying, you even after your job then, you had more energy to do things.
Dude, I have the energy, man. I just got done playing Chivalry for like 8 straight hours on the day it came out as soon as I got out of work. Like, I have the time. It's just, I'm not getting the dopamine from WoW that I used to. Because it doesn't provide the dopamine anymore.
Yeah.
It's just old. It got stale.
SWTOR.
Yeah, there's well, we have gotten way off track about expectations, but
There you go, expectations. SWTOR, the WoW killer.
every game was the WoW killer. Rift, Aeon, Terra, SWTOR,
Guild Wars 2.
ESO, Guild Wars 2. This is the WoW killer, and it's not.
Wasn't Guild Wars 1 out before WoW?
I don't think so. I think the only MMOs that were really out before WoW were.
Red lightsaber, Batman.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You're not defending anything with that one, bud.
I don't know.
Did Guild Wars come out before WoW?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Guild Wars 1 was out before WoW. So was Everscape.
So was EverQuest or RuneScape?
Both.
Yes. Final Fantasy 11.
Yeah.
Star Wars Galaxies.
Yes. Oh God.
Also, do you want to know what all of these games have in common? You had to put 40 hours a week into them in order to get anything out of it. You had to.
I never got to play Star Wars Galaxies. You know what other MMO I didn't get to play? And then I found out it existed, and by the time I found out it existed, they had already shut the official servers down.
Was it WildStar?
No, I played WildStar at launch.
Okay, cool.
No.
Dude, WildStar. This is the WoW killer.
Yeah.
Until you got to endgame, and then the leveling in that game was crazy. You were like, oh man, look, they have the moves on the ground, and look at all these cool colors and enemies and all the cool stuff my character could do. Then you got to endgame, and you were like, I wonder what my paladin's looking like.
The Matrix.
I completely forgot that existed.
Yeah. The Matrix Online, bro.
That too.
Ooh. Fuck.
City of Heroes, City of Villains.
My cousin was really big into Lord of the Rings Online for a really long time.
Another one I completely forgot existed.
Star Trek Online. There was also a Star Trek MMO.
Star Trek Online still exists. I know
It's been, isn't it been rebranded recently?
Probably, but I know that I played it on my PlayStation 4, and I was surprised to learn that the game had no language filter, because I named my ship something that's so inappropriate, I won't say it on stream. And it just let me do that.
There was also there was a Dragon Ball MMO in the works for a really long time, and then that was scrapped. And most of the pieces from the Dragon Ball MMO became Xenoverse.
Which makes sense. I don't think that game would have done well as an MMO, but as Xenoverse it works fine. I know that Warhammer Fantasy had an MMO out for a while.
Neverwinter Nights.
Neverwinter Nights still exists. You can
Does
download
it,
that.
though?
You can download that for free on your PS5. But yeah, like that's the thing about any sort of living game, a game that continually has new content and has a large concurrent player base. The ones that are doing well. Star Ocean. You mean Phantasy Star?
Hold on. I just made a revelation. I had an epiphany.
A revolutionary revelation?
Yes, I had an epiphany.
An apocryphal epiphany?
Think about the social landscape back when MMOs were huge. Where else did you go to be social on the internet besides a chat room? Compared to nowadays where
Yep, that's got to be part of it.
Facebook is there and we don't have that desire to be social on the internet anymore because we're always social on the fucking internet. I remember people having funerals and weddings in game because that's just how you hung out with your internet friends. Now you have Twitch streams. I can live stream my fucking wedding. I could have live streamed my wedding. I will live stream my vow renewals.
Dude, when my coworker from Scallywags first got a smartphone, the very first thing he did was he just live streamed himself eating a hot dog. for no reason other than like, oh, you can live stream? I'm eating a hot dog. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and I also
I feel like without that social aspect, a huge part of the MMO genre died with it.
well, I mean, another thing that's linked to that is like the stimulation, right? Because like when WoW was out, like Facebook existed, but that was back when it only existed for college students. Yes. Yes.
No, what year
yes.
did Facebook come out? I didn't know what year Facebook came out.
Facebook was either 2004 or 2005.
WoW was 2003, 2004.
2004.
So when I was playing World of Warcraft and Facebook was out,
I mean, but World of Warcraft came out first.
okay, cool. That's irrelevant.
All right, fine.
But yeah, like Facebook was like it was only for college students when it first came out. If you were in high school, if you were an adult, if you were in a business, you didn't have Facebook. Once they changed that,
2006.
cool. And even then, it was like a really weird place where all you really did was like tag your friends and use the weird assy art to make memes. So there wasn't a tremendous amount of stimulation that you got from it. But like,
MySpace was the superior social network.
I mean, what do you want me to do? Argue?
I didn't say anything. What are you talking about? Stop, Zuckerberg will find us.
Dude, I guarantee you.
He's always listening.
But he could not possibly care less about two dudes sitting in a basement bitching about Facebook. You mean the fact that games are escapism?
This is bait.
For what?
Let's review today's entire episode. E3 was boring. When E3 wasn't boring, it was kind of okay. Stop setting your expectations for games too high, because then you end up with Cyberpunk 2077. Consider the following. Tom and I are never going to stop arguing about Final Fantasy VII Remake. And MMOs are dead. Anything else, Dan?
Dragoon Balloon wants to check for our producer.
Yes, and Dragoon Balloon
That also
wants to sub for our producer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's been our show. It's late. I didn't realize how late it was.
Okay.
So, until next time, I'm Patrox.
Obey the fist.
We'll catch you later.
See you next week.